Welcome, Reds, to the instant post-match reaction show. Liverpool, the first defeat in front of fans at Anfield in about 5 years. It seems like a very, very long time. But this result has been an accumulation of very poor performances. Quite frankly, this result was at Anfield has been on the writing on the wall for a large portion of the last couple of months anyway, in reality. If you are new around here, hit that subscribe button down below if you are a Liverpool fan or just a football fan in general. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Quite frankly, it wasn't good enough. I'm going to be praising Leeds quite a lot because I tell you, that performance and the characteristics in terms of that Leeds performance was something that we're very accustomed to in terms of watching Liverpool over the last 3 to 4 years. They come to Anfield and pose themselves. They look like the home team. Liverpool looked like the away team, and we look like the team that was in the relegation zone. If results do continue playing out there as they have, 2 losses against 2 of the bottom 3 is quite frankly not good enough. Chat, get your comments in. As I said, I get what I've wrote down anyway in terms of my thoughts on that game. As I said, I'm gonna firstly I've got to say Leeds, the way in which they pinned Liverpool back. But firstly, we'll go through obviously the moments of the game. But a lot of credit does have to go to Jesse March. Similar with this position as well in terms of the way in which Liverpool did concede the first goal. Quite shocking defending from Joe Gomez, no defending it. As you can see from the images, 1 second here, chat. Yeah, in terms of Joe Gomez in this situation, he's got an option to pass it out for a throw-in. But yes, as you can see from this next frame, he decides to play it inside. And that is, as I said, I was starting off with a lot of credit to Leeds because quite rightly, similar with Brighton and other teams when you have come to Liverpool in the last 12 months or over the last couple of years in terms of, remember Brighton last season could have come away from Anfield with all 3 points if they took their chances, but Leeds took their opportunities tonight and they capitalised on Liverpool's frailties. And as you can see from that, what I loved about Leeds in terms of, as I said, they played like Liverpool of old in the last 3 to 4 years. This is a hallmark of what Liverpool used to do when we had a capable team, a capable midfield that actually had legs that would allow Liverpool to press. We all know how Liverpool play. But Leeds, Jesse March didn't come to Anfield tonight and expect to go, oh, it's Liverpool, we'll sit behind the ball. No, he done what Bielsa done at Liverpool in terms of his first game at Anfield. I think it was one of the very first games at Anfield. I think it was 2-3 seasons ago. Coming to Anfield, scored a couple of goals as well. And I think we won that game 4-3 or something similar anyway. Similar scoreline. They applied themselves in that game. And tonight, the pressing, the defending, and most importantly, is the one thing to come out with tonight's game for me that really frustrated me was the attitude. The absolute attitude from these Leeds players. They come to Anfield, as I said, they're playing like the home team. Some of these Liverpool players, not just over the last couple of weeks, but the last couple of months, and the best part of the last 12 months, and their desire for Liverpool, every single one of them, has been absolutely phenomenal. I'm not saying that at all. For the last 3 to 4 or 5 years, especially for me as a Liverpool fan, it's been absolutely superb. It's been amazing. One of the best times to ever be supporting the Reds. 27 years supporting Liverpool through the Hodgson years, the Rafa years as well, coming close, the Rodgers years. Obviously, the Julia years was very young, but in terms of getting more on understanding now, when you grow up, you understand football more and you take it on board. And this Liverpool side, the best 3-4 years have been absolutely superb. Love them, every single one of them. But the last couple of weeks have been, quite frankly, not good enough. The desire was spot on by Leeds. And Meslier, quite rightly, come away from Anfield with man in a match. But as we'll speak about the finishing, Darwin Núñez as well could be playing for the next 20 years. Couldn't hit a barn door machine gun in reality. And I love the lad. I want him to thrive in Liverpool. But when it comes to crunch in terms of the big moments within games, you need to finish your opportunities, whether that's Salah, Jota, Firmino. whoever's on the pitch. Luis Diaz, similar with Fulham, cannon the bar, had a lot of opportunities this season. Quite frankly, I haven't taken them. That's football. That's why we love it and hate it at certain moments. But the application from Leeds was superb, and a lot of credit has to go to Meslier. Yes, but Liverpool should have finished their chances. But from a tactical sense, Leeds were absolutely superb. And I've got to say that because the fact that they've come to Anfield and played like that, similar with Brighton a couple of weeks ago, a lot of teams have come to Anfield. That says a lot about them. And I'll tell you what, if they apply themselves in the next couple of weeks and months and back into this year, they'll be sound. I had them in the bottom three this season, but if they play like that for 98 minutes, 97 minutes, they'll be sound. Happy days. But as I said, we'll go through the moments within this game, the key moments I've highlighted anyway. And as we said, poor. Gomez, it's beyond poor. It's quite frankly, you wouldn't even see this on Sunday League anyway. So the freeze frame, yes, Alisson is out of place. But Alisson's bailed us out for the best part, especially the back end of last season. We would not be in a title race if it wasn't for Alisson Becker. Best goalkeeper I have ever seen. I didn't grow up in the 70s and 80s under watching Ray Clements anyway. Legendary goalkeeper he was. But Alisson Becker, million miles away, the best goalkeeper. I absolutely loved the lads. And I feel sorry for him and the likes of Andy Robbo. The players that you can actually watch within the game. Like, that actually care. Like, I say cared in, as I said, as I backed it up before, they've given me the best years, but we're living in the present, we're living in now, and we're living in the future as well. We're 12 games into a Premier League season. We're fortunate enough we're making these mistakes now, and it's not a case of the back end of the year where we're 6 points off a top 4 place. We're probably, I haven't even, the day in a look, we'll look at it a bit later, but in terms of league position, I think we're probably, the fact that we're like, I haven't looked at the table, but we're so many points off top 4, or like prior to this game was a miracle in itself. That's a detriment to how poor the teams above us have been performing. Some of the ones below us as well, but Liverpool, and we'll go on to the next moment in terms of this game as well. And this was Anderson, obviously a great ball by the Scandinavian right back. I completely forgot his name, so apologies. But the Leeds right back whipped it in. Similar pitch that we've seen all season. And the top left Leeds player there, he latches onto a lovely volley. Could have hit the bar. Should have been in, really. I tell you what, if that flies in, that's a world-class strike. But yet again, the inability, the space, as you can see here, that is preoccupied. It's a 2-on-1 there. You got, I think it's Fabinho, the edge of the D there, and then Trent. That is a superb and a sublime. That is a Trent-esque ball into the box. It's on the money. Poor defending. Should really be 2-1. And as I said, Darwin Núñez, watched him, Benfica last season. Yeah, it's very difficult to judge in terms of 90 minutes, but I come out of that ground knowing, I was like, whoever gets Núñez will have a very good player. I still have a lot of hope, and I love the lads, and I think he will succeed at Liverpool. But at the moment, he is struggling in terms of, I don't know if it's confidence or his inability, but Núñez, as we've seen here tonight, the opportunities that he's had tonight, and as you can see there, that opportunity, as I said, yes, Meslier done well, but though the opportunities, and just a couple of seconds before that, he could have dinked it over, top right, bottom left, or even took his time, waited for Salah to overlap him on the right-hand side as well. And that space does create itself. And then this opportunity, a lovely ball from Liverpool. It's a 3-on-2. We took our time. As you can see, Meslier is straight out there, and that's what you want from your goalkeeper. But still, I know Núñez got about 2 yards to make up there. Even still, should be scoring from that area of the pitch. The goal, as we said on the watch-along as well, Liverpool. And that's what Jurgen Klopp would have been speaking to. We all said it at half-time, or whether you were watching as well. Tonight, Liverpool's opportunities when they did arise was in the wide areas. And that's what Liverpool have done best for the last 3 to 4 years. This notion over the last couple of weeks and months that Liverpool were not doing what we used to do well. And that's this goal comes from. It was a corner, come out wide. Come back out wide to Robbo, and then Robbo whips it in, back post, and Salah's on the back end of that and puts it away. They're brief moments. For some reason, Liverpool, and I don't know if you picked up out of home in terms of obviously the position in play, and I haven't seen a positional play of Trent tonight, but Liverpool need to continue, and City do that the best in the whole of Europe anyway. In terms of wide areas and the wide spaces, Andy Robinson was fantastic tonight. Yes, he was the only one probably trying him, and I know a lot of Curtis Jones does get a lot of grief from a lot of people anyway. I felt Jones was all right. I'm not saying he was amazing, but at least when Jones come on, he was making those darting runs. He was trying at least get into the past the midfield block of Leeds United's midfield and trying to break the line anyway. So the good opportunity there. And the final, obviously, big moment of the game as well. Liverpool had a 2-on-1 in that left-hand corner there in terms of the Annie Road end. And then this ball gets played slap bang. Look at Joe Gomez's position in there. Van Dijk, he's went, oh shit, I'm out of position. Thiago's like, no, I'll do that. And then, what a sublime finish. Look at the amount of men that are around that, lads. That stems from desire and hunger and his willingness. The lad's 21 years old tomorrow. And happy birthday. I hope he's going to go to Holland. I think he's from Holland anyway. He was saying in his interview that young lad, happy days, going on his 21st birthday tomorrow. Celebrate his family. But the attitude, and as I said, he come to Anfield with the desire and hunger of wanting to get in the end of that. Liverpool's defenders were second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth to every single ball tonight. And quite frankly, that is not good enough, regardless of whoever is coming to Anfield anyway, in terms of, we'll get the statistics up in terms of the game as well, chat. We'll get to all your comments. But, as I said, made a couple of notes as well. Bear with me 1 second there, chat. We'll get the statistics up in terms of this game. But quite frankly, the attitude levels of this Liverpool team this season have been, quite frankly, disgusting. You can't pick and change or pick and choose, most importantly, when to turn up on a football pitch. I think he said on Sky, 8 times in 12 games, Liverpool conceded first this season in the Premier League. Something needs to be done on training grounds. I'm not asked. Jurgen Klopp spoke about in the interview, yeah, it was decision making. And when you are playing at the highest level of European football, and most importantly, in the Premier League, you don't get punished. You get punished in Sunday League. If whoever plays that ball back, the fact that Gomez doesn't check over his blind side, individual errors. But the most important thing to come out of this game, as we said, Leeds, everyone knew, and similar with Fulham as well. Leeds United ran 11 kilometres more than this Liverpool team at home, at Anfield. I'm sorry, regardless if it was under the Roy Hodgson days, back end of Rodgers' era, these players are playing for Liverpool Football Club. I think some of them have kind of forgot who they represent as a fan base and what football club. It was hundreds of thousands out celebrating the FA Cup and League Cup. And as I said before, I'm not forgetting the good years this Liverpool side has given me. All of us. But it comes down to how they apply themselves within games this season. And when you're getting outrun by 2 of the bottom 3, all the teams, as I said, 8 out of 12 teams this season, that stems from attitude and the way in which you apply yourself within a game of football. Fair enough if you lose a game, but you've tried. But we're watching tonight, and we've watched over the last couple of weeks. If we continue playing like this, and even the chances, we give Ajax a couple of chances. We've seen Trent, Gomez, a couple of the players against Ajax at Anfield midweek, giving away sloppy balls on the halfway line. If that's against Bayern Munich, or another top team in Europe, they just go, go ahead, fella, I'll have that, run through your team. But it's the fact that we're picking and choosing what competition we play in as well. It's like, oh, Sam, we're playing well in Champions League for now. And it wouldn't surprise me if we go on a mad run in Champions League. We're 11 games into the Premier League season. Quite frankly, not good enough. Well, as I said, no excuse in terms of the Nunes, as I said, needs to be finishing his chances. Leeds were superb, giving them all the plaudits anyway. As I said, attitude stinks was the main one to come out of tonight's game anyway. 8 games, as I said. Yeah. So we'll get to everyone's comments as well, everyone. We'll get in terms of statistics of this game. Statistics mean nothing. The most important statistic is the scoreline for Liverpool Football Club tonight. 2-1, got beat. You can have all that possession in the world, but you don't. We created. But yes, you can go, oh, Liverpool haven't got this. Liverpool haven't got that. Similar when we had Forest. This squad is good enough and capable enough. It's got enough quality. But if you're not going to at least try and outrun or harry your players, do something. Do something, Reds. They've got to do a lot of soul searching as well. A lot of these Liverpool players. They've got to look themselves in the mirror. Jurgen Klopp as well. The technical staff. Look themselves in the mirror and go, right, when they step out on that pitch, and it starts next week, the next game as well. Lucky enough, we got the World Cup. A lot of these players are not going to be going to the World Cup. And I'm hoping, as long as they don't get injured, and we all know the players that do get injured, go on the training pitch and actually start doing stuff. Start laying out a defend. Do your shape as well. The basic fundamentals, Liverpool massively lacked this season. But yeah, as I said, I'm not going to sit here and blame. I could say, and we've spoken, it's going to be the case, and we said this against Forest. It's going to be a case of every single time Liverpool lose a game of football, blame the owners, and they've got a lot to blame as well. I'm not saying they haven't, but at the end of the day, the signings, yes, would have helped, but at the end of the day, we're 11 games into the league season. Fair enough. Whenever the window's open, I don't even know when it opens, but I can't care. At the end of the day, you've got to deal in the here and now. Those players on the football pitch, they weren't running tonight. They didn't put the ball on the back of the net. We're creating chances. It was far too important for them to go. So yeah, spending can't help a team that is not willing to outrun a team. As I said, 8 times out of 12 games this season in Premier League. That's not good enough. That is not good enough. David, FSG out. Yeah, as you said, David. Welcome, mate. But everyone knows my stance on my channel, mate. As I said, I was hugely positive in FSG's camp years ago, but the last 12 months, 2 years, Liverpool would be massively underfunded in terms of midfield issue. But I'm not going to speak about the midfield as an excuse tonight, because it's been the same excuse. That will be the same excuse every single loss that we've had this season, which it has. But when the window opens, Liverpool need to spend money on quality players. But you know what? Every club in Europe's going to be going to Liverpool. Oh, you need a midfielder, do you? Nice. Extra 30, 40 million pounds for you, because you know how desperate Liverpool are in terms of midfield issues. We're on our bare bones in terms of the quality. I feel sorry for Milner. Yes, everyone digs him out, but he come on tonight and he tried. It'll be a sad time when Milner does retire, because he's the one player that actually, when you watch, even that game against Fulham, he was screaming at Virgil van Dijk. Milner doesn't care about whoever he's shouting at. He's willing to be a voice in the changing room. And if we lose, which we will once he leaves this season, if we lose that in the dressing room, who's going to be standing up? Virgil van Dijk's happy to be doing interviews with Sky Sports with Gary Neville and all smiley and everything. Focus on your football, fella. Come on. Get the results on the pitch and then start doing interviews. And all these releasing books, no. Do it at the end of the season, not midway, 11 games into the season as well. So, yeah. Terrible performance, 100% Brian was as well. We are playing a dangerous game with the best manager we hope for that it can take. So much protest. North, I don't know what, I agree with you, mate, but I don't know what it's going to take. As I said at the top of the show, North, a lot of us have come through, especially under Hicks and Gillette. Horrible time at the football club. And then it's who takes it over anyway. But I'm not going to be speaking about that tonight, mate, because that's for the end of the season, because nothing's going to change at the minute, mate. Even if it does get to January, these owners, or I don't know if it's the owners or Jurgen Klopp or whoever is running the football club, their inability, and that's where it stems to, the inability to identify a key area If it was true that Liverpool went out for Tchouaméni, didn't get him, then sounds you go for your second or third, fourth choice option. We all know it was very heavily publicised. Salah wasn't Liverpool's first choice. I think it was Julian Brandt or something was hired up on Liverpool's transfer strategy, and Salah was like third or fourth choice. Same with Jota and saying other players as well. Some of Mane as well. So, yeah. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, mate. But exactly what has happened to us, as I said, it's the attitude panel. That's what it comes down to, mate. The attitude and how you apply yourself within a game of football. If you don't do that, regardless of who you're playing, we got outrun by Fulham. It's like, oh, sad. Might have been a blip. The fact that we went to Old Trafford and got outran by that Manchester United side. So we've been playing absolutely fantastic this season. Superb. You've improved massively. Dave overstepped us this season. Leapfrogged us. Tottenham are playing rubbish, but Christ almighty, if this Tottenham side finishes above us, then that's when you know there's real issues at a football club. Got to bring other players into the squad. Certain players don't seem to be motivated, mate, 100%. And that's the key point, as Steve alluded to there, motivation. We see with Trent in certain games this season, not just Trent, but all of our players. Your motivation. There's a ball there, 5 yards. Basic fundamentals, Sunday League football. Ball's 5 yards. Is it your opponents or you going to get to that ball tonight? I'll let someone else run for it. And I'm not buying into this notion as well. Liverpool's team is tired. Oh, that sounds. Man City have got a smaller squad in certain aspects, and they play similar minutes. Why is that not the case? In terms of it has to stem to in terms of training regime from Liverpool or something. City play very, very similar minutes. Why are they not knackered? I just don't get it. Let's get to your comments as well. Be reading out all of them. There's a lot of people saying FSG, and rightly so. But it will be interesting to see when all the journalists and people in and around Liverpool start asking the questions, because the journalists and a lot of people that have got access to the football club have not been asking the right questions in terms of. I wish I was in a press conference asking Jurgen Klopp why have we not signed a midfielder for the best part of the last 4 years. I'd keep on repeating, asking the question, or ask Jurgen Klopp, why were the owners at the football club a couple of months ago in January? Why was that? Was that a sign of power by FSG to say, right, we're in charge here? Like, what was that? I thought, as always did, every Liverpool fan, sounds FSG have come to Anfield to sanction deals, or a big deal, or big transfer. Window passed. Last day of the window. Arthur Melo, the lad that's been absolutely clocked at Juventus for the best part of the last 12 months anyway. So, and he's not even played a minute of football for Juventus. So yeah, that shows the level of ambition from the football club, and that's everyone. Jurgen Klopp, the technical staff, the club running the football club above Jurgen Klopp, and Jurgen Klopp said it himself publicly. He's not in charge of the transfers. So the people above Jurgen Klopp in terms of that area, do your job. That's all I'll say. One play Gomez. Yeah, it's panel. We'll start Karate. I'm hoping we start Gomez. Not Gomez. Karate, mate. Christ almighty. Can't be bothered with 90 minutes of that. FSG will bully us. FSG will bull us again in January. Probably get the flowers out again, innit? Do a little video and all that. Yeah, just in case you make another mistake, as you always do. Great PR. Tell you what, studied media for years. That was textbook in reality. Absolutely textbook. But yeah, they'll probably get the flowers out again. What's going on, Jack? Is this Klopp or above him? I think it's how you doing, La? It's above him, mate. As he said, I've spoke to you, mate, countless times, even when you were in the Prem last year. Great result for your lads tonight. And even when you watch, Dan, in terms of your Burnley side, the attitude, they apply themselves, they run on. It's the attitude, mate. If you don't have a team, regardless of if you're playing in League 1, League 2, conference, your team's not running for the shades or at least trying and doing the basic fundamentals of football, you've got no chance of winning football games, regardless of what division you're in. It's above and mate, and I love Jurgen Klopp. Always do love Jurgen Klopp. As I said, top of the show to open the episodes. He's given the best years of supporting Liverpool Football Club. I think he has done for especially people my age, 27 years old anyway. I just wish Jurgen Klopp was given the tools to really do his job properly. Yes, he spent money. I'm not buying into this notion Liverpool have not spent money, because we have. Like, if you compare that to the likes of Bournemouth and obviously teams down in obviously League One and League Two, and Liverpool have spent money. But in terms of what we generate, massively, Dan, Liverpool generate quite a lot of money in terms of comparison to Manchester City as well. The fact that we all go out and buy the shirt every single season for about £100. Where's this money going? Yeah, it's probably all went on Salah's contracts, and I know we all joke about it. It probably has, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, everyone. But I understand everyone's frustration, and quite rightly so. Everyone's different views will always get heard, and mine as well. Even if I disagree with your points, I'm not going to make a point of saying, "Oh, that's wrong," because this is why I create my channel to listen to everyone's views and take them on board and discuss them. Really, as I said, I might say something that you massively disagree with me, but we're all adults here. We're going to take everyone's comments on board and really will have your say. As I said, tomorrow I'll probably do, well, not tomorrow, working, so the day after, what day are we on? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, no, probably Tuesday, Wednesday, depending. I need to see my roster anyway for work tomorrow, see what days I'm working, but we'll plan around that anyway in terms of the streams. And even if Ali wasn't out of place, he would have had to close down the striker. Yeah, had a bad decision to pass back. Yeah, 100% there, mate. Lowest tackle rate in the EPL, English Premier League. Most misplaced passes. This is rotten. Something is wrong within. 100% there, North. And as I said, the passing, the running statistics are there, as clear as day in reality. You need to start Canate, 100% there. Luca, big up, mate. As I said, I think Molina come over to England as well. Hope he had a good time, mate. It looks like he did, which is the most important thing. Big up, mate. My internet is off. Yeah, we need to 100%, mate. Everyone's on. We're all singing on the same hymn sheet in reality. Players are a bunch of feathers to the very, very soft in reality. Jack, the team let us have possession. They let us creep higher and find space. 100% there, mate, because teams now, as we've seen, teams are happy to allow Liverpool to have the ball. And we've seen that even Real Madrid last year. Ancelotti knew exactly what he was doing. He said even in the post-match, he was like, I anticipated what Liverpool's move was going to be. And Jurgen Klopp in recent weeks has spoke about we need to be unpredictable. And I've made up that we have changed something over the last couple of weeks. But the same notions and same football and principles continuously creep into our play. And I'm just a fan, like every single one of you, all of us. But internally, something needs to be done in terms of tactically. But at the end of the day, you can do the best tactics in the world, football, but it means diddly squat in reality when your players aren't putting the 110%, even 150% effort in. It's almost like Trent has forgot what football club he plays for. This is his club. This is his city as well. We love Trent. I love Trent so much. But I know he's fully capable, much better. Same with Gomez as well. I know these players are capable and he can reach deep inside in terms of their performances, but I don't know what it is. It all comes from their willingness to wanting to run. Every single you've been doing it for the best part of the last 3-4 years. You can continue to do it. You've got the best nutritionists. Christ, I think all of us would be sound. We do a couple of marathons. We had all the nutritionists. Best food, best grant, the recovery time, best baths and everything. So none of that's an excuse. It comes from the psychological aspect of these players wanting to push through. It used to be the mentality monsters. Very weak mentality monsters at the minute. That's the harsh reality it is. It's the owner's fault we haven't been invested. Yeah. If you or me hire a cleaner to clean somewhere, if you don't buy here the right equipment, you can't expect us to do the job. Very good analogy there, Rob, spot on. Never really disagreed with you before, but the game is almost irrelevant at this point. It's under. Well, Rob, Christ almighty, mate. You've been watching me for a very long time, mate, and I've said you can go watch my YouTube channels, and I've always said Liverpool for the best part of the last 3-4 years on the channel. Me and Dave have been doing this for a very long time, and we've always said, big up Dave as well, that Liverpool needed investment, but it's all right. I love doing my transfer videos, but it got to a point where I was like, yeah, I'll do a transfer video, but we're not going to be signing anyone. So I just give up doing the transfer videos as well, because it's all right going, oh, we need this player X, Y, and Z. We could get like Tom, Dick, and Harry, but we're not going to sign them because we're not spending money. But 100% agree with Rob, as I said. Or let's say on a spot on. So one mate, unlucky lad. How does he deserve? No, mate. I think FSG deserved their P45 anyway. No, as I said, that Royington side hasn't got a Premier League, a Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup, Super League, Club World Cup as well. So, yeah, million miles away from that, mate. As I said, Tottenham are very lucky. I was hoping, yeah, they're rubbish as well. Spider, shocking. We really shocked that Leeds could beat us. Yeah, we're not shocked, Eamons. We've all been watching this Liverpool performance over the last couple of weeks, last couple of months in reality. But yeah, holy rubbish Reds. I'm worried now, but we're always love and support the Reds. 100%, Dave. I think we all do. But I know for a point, and since I've been starting my YouTube journey over the last couple of years, and that's why I've done it. I just love speaking about Liverpool, and I know, and I think all of us do. We all know how much Liverpool means to every single one of us, to every Liverpool fan, or just football in general. That's why the Super League was an absolute disgrace when it come about. Because especially in England and around world football as well, football clubs have a massive... They are basically the churches of all of ours. We all look to the fundamental pinpoints in terms of social aspects in life as well. We go, finish work, go into work or whatnot, and we look forward to the footy as well. And as I said, we've been very blessed. As I said at the top of the show, I'm not forgetting the good moments this Liverpool side has done. And you probably will do a lot of good times in the future as well. I'm pretty sure of that, because we've got enough quality within that squad. But a lot of them do need to pull the finger out as well. But yeah, it's disappointing, Dave. But at the end of the day, seems to be the same thing every single bloody week. Shocking performance, really. Null and void the season. Smash like boys. Nice one. FSG really need to make a statement now. We need fresh legs and new hunger to push these players. Otherwise, a lot more fans will be jumping on the FSG train by the end of the season. Kind of, but there's been, and even I've said FSG out for the last 12 months, because, and I've always said, even when they announced the Super League, not just Liverpool's owners, but in terms of the big fat cats, in terms of the people running all of our football clubs, there's only a small portion. All the English football teams are getting bought out by Americans, and eventually, if they get a much more larger percentage and a more of a say in Premier League football and within England, I think English football will massively be taken away from the most important people. And football over the last 20 years has massively been decreasing in terms of the basic fundamentals of what it is. You've got the fans coming into Anfield or stadiums within England, and they are the last person who they think about in terms of they are consumers. They are the little people as well. The owners and people running these football clubs, they only care about the money. And I get, yes, they are businesses. They are massive businesses at the end of the day. But football was all about its fans. And that will always be the case. Regardless of whoever owns these football clubs. We've seen the likes of the Berries and certain clubs disappear in times with the mismanagement. But it's about time the people in charge of these football clubs and charge of these organisations, most importantly, in terms of the FA, the Premier League as well, to really wrestle the reins back I think Gary Neville, he says a lot of positive things, especially coming from a Mank as well. But didn't really like him on a football pitch, but he does talk a lot of sense now and again. But he only speaks in a lot of sense when it benefits Gary Neville, most importantly. And sad reality it is. I have ranted tonight. Yeah, I think we all have, mate. I can't figure out how the team all got so bad all the time. It's the attitude, Hannah. Definitely need new signings. Instead of treating players coming back from injuries, new signs, we need new players. Zuki, it's not going to just be a case of Jude Bellingham is not the answer. We need a whole fresh midfield, mate. We all know the midfield Liverpool thriving, especially as we played the system over the last 3-4 years. Liverpool's midfield is the heartbeat of Liverpool's team. It has been in the last 3-4 years. Yes, you can speak about the attacks and the defence, but this season we're just not pressing. And even the back end of last season as well, all the points away, we've dropped points in the last 3 to 4 years, as we said. And especially if you are deploying a higher line, like we have over the last 2 years as well, you're not pushing over, you're not harrying. The prime example was Manchester United. The midfield was too lackadaisical, not getting straight into them. And then he can just hit a ball through to Rashford and throw one goal anyway. So, yeah. But yeah, in a real world, this side needs a 230 million revolution, but we don't really see FSG doing this. I don't think so. 100% there from Connor from the Cop Council. But, as I said, Reds, not the result we wanted. But, as I said, I wish things would change, but they won't in reality. If these players don't get a massive kick up the backside, don't start running, don't start doing the basic fundamentals of football, then we've got no hope and chance. And I think we will continue to slide down the league table. And then we just got to hope and pray that we are not even further down by the time the window opens. But Reds, I said it'd be a pleasure, but most importantly, thank you to every single one of you. I'm disappointed. As I said, I go on for a bit longer, but can't really be asked, especially when these players can't be asked to actually run for the football club. But Reds, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you, most importantly, for being here. If you're new around here and you probably agree to disagree with a lot of things I've said, as I said, I'm more bothered about what you say in the comment section below, your thoughts on the game tonight, and obviously in terms of the overall picture at Liverpool Football Club. Because there's a lot of facets, really, and hopefully the people that do have the bigger platforms in terms of obviously speaking their mind as well do speak the right things and ask, most importantly, the right questions in terms of journalists as well. Start asking the questions that they should have been asking for the best part of the last 3 to 4 years, and even if they have and they sound like a broken record, continuously ask and you're a journalist. Do the digging of why this is happening or what is happening behind closed doors, because fundamentally there's something, all of us fans know there's something happening behind closed doors. So about time these journals actually started doing their journalistic instincts and actually done some research, asked questions, asked people as well, and actually got to the bare bones and the crux of the issue, really. So how you doing, Doug, as well? Smashing it, but yeah, that's... Big up everyone as well. Everyone, have a lovely rest of your night. As I said, you never walk alone. Get behind these lads. I don't know. I've picked a couple of picked them all out, really, because, as I said, the positives, really. Andy Robinson. Tell you what, if we didn't have him on the football pitch tonight, Robinson has been probably he has been our best player over the last couple of weeks. He's a player that doesn't really lack the attitude and lacks the desire. Salah, where would be without him as well, would be probably in the bottom 3. I don't know where in terms of statistics, really. As I said, Darwin Núñez really needs, and not just Núñez, but Liverpool need to be putting these chances in the back of the net. Sounds basic, but we're creating enough, not just finishing enough anyway. But Reds, have a lovely rest of your night. Try and enjoy it anyway. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And as always, Reds, I will see you on Monday. Monday, I will see you. But you never walk alone, Reds. See you later. See you later.